episode 045 with Kalvin Vaega. This episode was brought to you by Love Luci. Love Luci brings you homemade comfort treats that take you back to your childhood. Hello everybody, Happy New Year, welcome to 2021 and thank you to all our listeners once again. If you're new to this podcast, thank you for listening. I hope you enjoy the episodes we have coming up for you. So this is a new beginning, a new year, and I hope you are enjoying this new year so far. I certainly have. We've been, taking little day trips here and there to the beach. We're very grateful that we haven't had any community transfer here in New South Wales for the past 2 days. And we're always being vigilant, and I'm so happy that, everybody that I know has been safe and that they've been well. And we're just about to start the new term. If you're interested in lessons, I am conducting online Zoom lessons. If you're from overseas or you would prefer to have lessons at the comforts of your own home, I am also doing face-to-face lessons as well. So let me know. Visit me at www.tinabangle.com and you can message me there, and I'd be happy to chat to you about, how I can help you with your vocal training for this year if that's something that you'd like to do. I'm also excited to let you know about the One Voice virtual choir that I am conducting. It's starting this week, but don't worry if you haven't signed up yet. You are most welcome to contact me and let me know if you'd like to join in the choir. And it's a choir that's virtually done. We'll be meeting on Zoom. I'll be giving you different vocal parts depending on your comfort. And we will sing a really beautiful song called Thinking Out Loud by Ed Sheeran. And we're going to have it recorded, and we're going to record the video of it as well in time for Valentine's Day so we can showcase the virtual choir that way. So, I don't have that many people signed up at the moment, but if you would love to join us, please feel free. Make sure you contact me at the website tinabangle.com, or you can visit me on Instagram, which is at tinabangle, and Bangle is spelled Bangel. I have one more exciting news to share with you. We have just created a very new platform on YouTube, our very own channel of One Voice School of Singing students, and we're going to showcase them on there, and we're going to sing covers and originals. And I've just uploaded a video of Matthew Dino with his cover of Lionel Richie's All Night Long. So I hope you can check it out. Visit the YouTube and go visit YouTube and check out One Voice School of Singing. Make sure you subscribe and like the video. If you remember Matthew Dino, he was the little 11-year-old boy who created his original song called Superheroes in Disguise, and it was featured on Sunrise last year because it was an original song that was a tribute to his parents and all the frontliners, which was really, really fun to co-write with him. It was just a lovely experience. So without further ado, I want to introduce you to our next guest. So our next guest is Kalvin, and Kalvin always brings a smile to my face because we started in a band called Midnight Sun, and Midnight Sun was owned by a wonderful musician called Gordon Hunt. He's a guitarist, and he was actually Sade's guitarist in London. So if you look at old Sade clips on Facebook or online, you'll notice Gordon Hunt playing the guitar. Is very, very cool, and he was wonderful to work with. And the same with Kalvin. It was always such a great time singing with them and performing with them, and we just did these incredible gigs together. And we would have so many gigs in 1 week. Sometimes we'd have 2 in one day. which was so fun. Being young at the time, I think I was like 25 or so, and I was with the band for about 7 years. So it was a big chunk of my gigging life, and a lot of my uh, learnings came from being in that band. So I'm really grateful for that time. And we chat about that with Kalvin actually on the podcast in the interview, and we just talk about the good times and how lucky we were to have those experiences. So without further ado, I'd love to introduce you to my wonderful, wonderful friend, Kalvin, who is an amazing singer. If you get to check out some of his work, listen to his beautiful voice. Welcome to One Voice Can Change the World podcast. I'm your host, Tina Bangle, vocal coach and professional vocalist. In each episode, we bring you an inspiring person doing wonders in the music industry today. We hope to give you motivating messages to help you navigate towards your musical dreams. I'm so grateful you're here, and now let's give you something
Hello,
to sing
Tina.
about.
Hello, One Voice. Thank you for having me.
So excited to have you here, Kalvin. It's been such a long time. Maybe how many years? 10 years?
Yeah, probably 10 plus years. Yeah. It has been ages.
Yeah.
Been a
So
while.
Kalvin and I were once in a band called Midnight Sun, and a man called Gordon Hunt, who owned the band. We sang with him, and we did a
Yep.
lot of gigs everywhere. But we're going to chat about that a little bit more later on.
Yeah.
So, Kalvin, tell everybody who you are and what you're doing.
Okay, my name is Kalvin Vaega. I live in Brisbane in Queensland, in Browns Plains, which is in the south of Brisbane. And I currently run a disability service with my wife called Kingstones Music.
Wow, that's so cool. How did that come about? Because was that something that you had just created in Queensland when you moved there, or is it just a recent thing?
To be honest with you, Tina, I've never worked in disability before, but a couple of years ago, I was very fortunate enough to be given work through a foundation, through a disability service called Endeavour Foundation, where I met these young adults that just came out of high school, and who will later be known, or today be known as the Kingstones.
That's incredible. I love the way that you have posted up all these original songs, and also just help these kids with disabilities use music as their therapy.
Yeah, 100%. Tina, we know this. Music is big. Music speaks many languages. Music is very therapeutic. Not only to us but to everyone.
Yeah. And how many people are in the group at the moment?
Okay, so at the moment we've got 7 members of the Kingstones. 7 members. Yeah.
And they've all got specific jobs that you've allocated for them?
Yes. So not all of them are singers, but everyone has a specific job in the Kingstones music program. So, I have 3 or 4 main singers, and then I've got a couple of the boys. One of them does all the PA setting up. He does our sound. He puts up our banners and stuff. He makes sure the stage looks really good before we get on. Another guy we've got, he hands out business cards and a lot of the promotional material that we have. A manager, so to speak. Yeah.
Very good.
Everyone has a job. Everyone's got a job in Kingstones music.
Yeah, that's really important. We were saying before we came on and started the podcast that it's really important to involve everybody, and it makes a difference to their lives and gives them a little bit of a purpose, right?
100%. 100%. It's all about, being included, being inclusive. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
100%.
And that goes to, I mean, I can relate to that because, that's something that I learned this year because of the pandemic. Last year and going into this year is like involving more of the kids and involving more, giving them more responsibility, because now we've got that ability to, the kids are so good at online stuff, you know, doing the Zoom,
100%.
doing videos, their own videos, editing their own videos.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I learned last year, is like giving them the opportunity to create. Yeah.
Yeah. 100%. I'll just tell you this quickly. I have this participant. His name is Nicholas Dale, right? I told him early last year to go home and have a look at GarageBand. You know GarageBand, the music app on Apple?
Yep.
He came back to me the following day, told me everything about GarageBand, how to record on GarageBand, just everything about how to program music on it. This is the genius. Like, they've just got their own special gifts, and it's exactly what you just said. You know, we're in the information age. They're all over it more than I am. That's the truth. They teach me stuff.
Yeah, it's incredible. I mean, my students teach me a lot of stuff too. But yeah, it's. I think that's a special thing about you and Joan, is like seeing the gift that each individual has, and then, you know, giving them the ability to go and find what they can do with that gift.
Yes, 100%, 100%. We all got gifts, yeah.
Yes.
And until you're given that opportunity or that kind of mentoring, you know, you start polishing, start chipping away. All of a sudden, boom, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a beautiful thing. Yeah.
Now, we've known each other for quite a long time. Tell
Yeah.
us about how you got started with singing, and how you, you know, what was it part of your family? Like, was singing a big, huge part of your family?
Yeah, singing and music has been a massive part of my life. I think a lot of Polynesians, just in general, we're all big churchgoers. So at a very young age, you are introduced to music. And when you go to church, like when I go to church with my parents, I had to sing. You know, there was no two ways about it. It was either that, or I'm going to get a slap from my mum in front of everyone, right?
Yeah.
We had to learn how to sing. I don't know if you've been to a Polynesian church, Tina, but when we sing choruses or hymns together, my mother would usually sing soprano.
Mm-hmm.
My sisters would usually sing alto. The young men like myself, you know, all the boys, we used to sing tenor, and my dad used to sing bass. All the fathers used to sing bass.
Oh.
So you were accustomed to this harmony.
Yes.
You know, and it really, really developed your ear. To be able to sing in harmony, and just, you know, off the spare of the moment, just boom, you're in, you know.
Yeah. And I remember when we were in Midnight Sun, you would just, whatever harmony there was.
Yeah, well, it's just a thing. It's just an anything that you're brought up with. So music,
so
and, you know, and singing has been a big part of my life ever since my childhood. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And when did you get into the boy band thing? Like, you grew up in church singing, and then how did the boy band come along? And what was the name of the boy band?
Okay, the boy band. Such a 90s thing, eh? The boy
I know,
band.
because it was, wasn't it? Wasn't it in the 90s?
It was. Shh, don't tell everyone else. Okay, all right. Let's talk about the boy band. All right. I went to school, at a school in Mount Druitt called Wayland High School. And we did this show called The Gong Show, right?
Right.
And myself and two of my other friends that I went to church with, we jumped on stage and we sang 2 Christian songs in harmony, right?
Mm-hmm.
The whole school sort of looked at us and thought, my gosh, we have never heard anything like this, you know?
Wow.
Straight away, the music teacher comes up to me and goes, I think you should start a group. So we did. We started a group. We started singing at a place called Sydney's Wonderland, which was very popular in the 90s.
Yeah, it was the place to be and place to work at. And I worked there in the cafe.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I worked in the Lakeside Cafe. And so you performed there at the nighttime, because they've created this special nighttime gig, right, for you guys?
Yes. They had like dance parties.
You're right.
So the first dance party that we ever did, there, I still remember such a good memory, because Imagine your whole school turning up to your gig, right? There's like 1,000 kids there, right?
That's
The
awesome.
management to Wonderland are like, man, what's going on here? You know,
Yeah.
everyone's going wild. We're dancing in routines and stuff. We're wearing the suits with the shorts and,
Oh,
hats on backwards, the 90s R&B look.
yes.
Oh, it was definitely Spot the White. Sorry, the group was called Spot the White.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Spot the
Yeah.
white. Yeah, because there was one.
Yeah, one white guy in there. Yeah,
Yes.
one white guy in there who was mate, Clifford Boatswain. This guy is
Yes.
like a really, really talented musician. He's great.
Oh,
Yeah.
excellent. So how many of you guys in there?
So there were four of us. There
Yeah.
was Clifford Boatswain, who was this guy can play all instruments, right? Never been taught music or anything, just magic ears. My
Mhm.
cousin James Tiedemann, he was like a big dude who used to do our raps.
Yeah.
Hayes Luau, who was a dancer at Wonderland.
Yes,
We
I
we picked him
remember.
up. Yeah, we picked him up along the way, and myself. Yeah. So there
Oh,
were four of us. We were just four boys from the West having fun, really.
yeah,
You know.
very talented, very talented. Yeah, I remember seeing Hayes. They used to perform on the stage at the bistro that I worked at.
Yeah,
So I would
yeah,
waitress, and I'd be like, "Oh, how cool is that?"
yeah,
They had their Wonderland costumes, and
yeah.
yeah, and then who would have known that like later on I'd be singing with like a couple of those singers as well, like at the Austral Bar at Star City. And yeah, it was
Oh,
like very surreal kind of feeling of like when I was younger, I'd be like, oh my God, I hope one day I can sing and do what they do.
yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it happens when you really
Yes.
when you really dream about it and visualize it,
Yeah.
it will happen in one way or another. And I know you're very big at visualizing, because I remember when we were in Midnight Sun, you'd visualize a lot of competitions, winning competitions, and you did
Yeah.
win the Marrickville competition as well for singing.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I done some really good. Yeah, I was very fortunate, but it's like that thing, Tina. It's like when you surround yourself, with in that kind of an environment, you start attracting all these different people, all these different opportunities, and all these people and all these opportunities would ultimately make you the person or the entertainer that you are today. You know?
Yeah, yeah. So what are
Yeah.
some of the things? Tell us about how you got into Midnight Sun, because I remember Gordon, he went to
Mm.
one of my gigs, and the first way that I got that gig was actually from we had Gordon went to Lee McRae, the singing teacher.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's kind of based near Bankstown Way. And
Yeah.
then Lee was saying, "Oh, I know a guy who's looking for a singer, and maybe you can audition for it." So we got into contact with each other, and he goes, "Oh, I'll come to one of your gigs." And I did this Manila by Night gig at the time, and he came
Manila
and
by
watched
night.
it.
Yeah. Yeah.
He came and watched it with Ariane,
Yeah.
and then yeah, and that's how I got the gig. And then I remember going to his house, and he goes, "Okay, can you sing harmony to this song?" And I was not very good at harmony.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
tried, but then they
Yeah.
taught me, and that's how I learned how to do harmony with you guys. So
Yeah.
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 So how did it come about with you?
To be honest with you, I think it was just a phone call. I think it was just a phone call from Gordon
Yeah.
to come around and have a chat. Really?
Right. Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
did you know him before?
No, 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 no. I didn't. I think he might have just heard of me just from being around the competition circuit, because
Yeah.
I was looking for something a little bit more stable in that sense.
Yeah.
But I had, yeah, yeah. I think it was just an initial phone call. I went and I met up. And did we meet each other or did you meet him before I did? I think you did, hey?
I think I met him before you.
Okay.
Oh, I can't even remember now because I
Yeah.
remember, I don't know whether it was um Oh, I'm pretty sure it was like I came on and then we were looking for a guy.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Was that right? I
I,
can't even
I,
remember.
I think so. I think so because I honestly can't remember too, but
Yeah.
I can't remember Gordon coming out and meeting me or singing at a place. I think it was
Yeah.
just a phone call, and I
'Cause
came in and sang and auditioned, and that was it.
yeah, and then we started getting all those cool gigs. I really
Oh,
enjoyed doing the weddings and the wedding expos. That was
oh,
pretty huge. You know, I'm friends now with the girl that used to. Do you remember when we used to do the entertainment before
the
cap
bridal.
the
Yes,
bridal walk,
yes,
the bridal
yes.
thing, and
Yeah.
there was that one particular designer, and they used to say Clarissa Grace. Do you remember that? Clarissa Grace.
No, I
And
can't remember that, but
that was one of the biggest ones that I remember. And I remember, and I'm like, I know this girl because we met in a course. We did this course together. And I'm
okay.
thinking, I know this girl's name. I don't know where I've heard it, but I've heard it somewhere. And
Yeah,
then all of a sudden, that voiceover, you know,
yeah,
before
yeah,
the walk starts,
yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
thing. Yeah, and then I heard that, and I go, oh, did you used to do the wedding expos? And yeah, so that was her.
Is
Anyway,
it a Clarissa or Larissa or Alyssa?
Clarissa, Clarissa,
Clarissa.
Clarissa
Clarissa Gray.
Grace, Grace.
Oh,
Sorry.
Grace. Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I
Okay.
think you. Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Who
she's
you were
another
talking
singer
about.
that does a lot.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. A
So
lot of
this
those.
this lady's she's designing and
Okay.
designing wedding gowns. But yeah, so tell me what you learnt with Midnight
Oh,
Sun.
well, I learned, man. I think Midnight Sun was probably my biggest teacher. You know, to be honest with you. I mean, we used to go to the gigs together. We used to turn up early, set up together, you know, and then break it down and then leave together. Just things like that. I think it was a lot of the discipline. I learned a whole lot of discipline off Gordon. And the
Yeah.
man's very professional, you know.
Yeah.
So being up to his standard and him teaching us, like, you know, his wisdom and stuff would go on to really help me in today. Like a lot of the songs that we learned were classics, you know, Elvis, Tom Jones. They were all hits, classic hits. And I think to be able to work in the music industry today and to be able to sing live, you have to learn heaps. You have to know a little bit from every genre and mix it up a bit under the classic hits banner, you know? And that's what Midnight Sun taught me. If it wasn't for Midnight Sun, I don't think I would have sang Tom Jones or
Yeah.
Elvis, you know,
Yes.
or any of those songs, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it taught me so much because I
Yeah.
still sing them today.
Yeah, because they're classics and everybody knows them, everybody loves them. It's something that
Yes,
as a singer, I think it's important to know. Yeah.
100%, 100%. To be able to work in this industry as a working singer, musician, entertainer, you got to know these songs. People don't care, you know, for the song that was a hit on the radio a month ago. It's
Yes.
it's gone, you
Yeah.
know. They'll always remember Brown Eyed Girl,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know. Love is in the air, you know.
Yes.
They'll always get down to that, you know.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. No matter the age, even now, I have a little 10-year-old boy who was invited to sing for this wedding. And I said, why don't you sing You to Me Are Everything?
Yeah.
And that was the best song ever,
Oh yeah.
especially for weddings. And
100%.
yeah, and then the mum messaged me and said, yeah, it was a hit. Everybody, all the little cousins look up to him now. And
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it's nice to be able to pass your knowledge onto the younger generation, or the young adults.
100%. 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Totally agree.
so I mean, I learnt a lot as well working with Gordon in terms of thinking about music as a business and not just a hobby. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what are some of the things that you learnt in terms of business wise?
Just that if you, I think the biggest lesson that Gordon taught me, like if you believe, right, if you believe in singing and music and that is your passion, you can do it at a really, really high level, you know. Like a lot of the gigs that we did were of really good, you know, caliber. We sang at like Taronga Zoo, you know. We did weddings there overlooking Sydney Harbour. We did multiple times,
Yeah.
you know.
It was beautiful.
Oh, it's just,
I miss those days, right?
oh,
You know, it's
oh, that was
like
so good.
when the pandemic hit, it was like, oh my God, how we took those times for granted. Just being able to hop
Yes.
in the van,
Yeah.
set up, sing,
Yeah.
eat,
Yeah. It's,
entertain,
yeah.
get to know people, and
Yeah.
then and then just go home and then rest and then do it all again. It was just like
Yeah.
that. Those times from the year 2000 to then was
Yeah.
just like epic
The best.
opportunities. Yeah.
Yeah. The
And
best.
who would have thought, you know, 2000 would hit year 2020 and we've got no gigs. How did you handle all that?
You know, I actually, because I've always, because I've got like a business, you know, outside of music, it sort of, it supported me and it didn't affect me. But
Good.
I'm part of a massive network, musician network here in Queensland and the Gold Coast and up Sunshine Coast, and everyone had no work, right? They had no money. They had, you know, couldn't feed their families, couldn't pay the mortgages, couldn't pay their bills, man. It was heartbreaking, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm really thankful and I'm really blessed that it didn't affect me that bad. But I know that the pandemic really hit the real musicians, you know, real musicians out there, working musicians, really, really bad. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I know would have been difficult if we were in that situation. I know, like for me, my teaching was my savior.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's something that I don't think a lot of people saw coming, right?
No, not at all. I mean, no singing, no music, no live music, no,
Yeah,
and no dancing.
you can't even sing.
Yeah.
Like
It's,
even my parents had their birthday the other day, and I
yeah.
was like freaking out because my brother and my sister-in-law started singing happy birthday. I'm like, no, you can't sing. It's
Yeah.
against
Like,
the law.
what
That's
is
just so
this?
weird.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Signs of the times, eh?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's really, yeah.
So I'm glad that you were able to, create something for yourself last year. And then in terms of creating something for yourself, you were able to help others in return. So do you want to tell us about your new project? I know you've got a new single with the Kingstones called Thank You.
Yes. Yep. So what we do in Kingstones music is we create an environment for young adults that are living with a disability. Okay. We run programs from Monday to Friday, and we focus on three major aspects, so to speak. So the first one being learning and life skills, right? Things as easy as personal hygiene, you know, learning how to catch public transport, you know, we talk about sex education, you know, things like that, you know, so that's everyday life skills. Then we focus on health and wellness, right? We love to train. We teach them how to, you know, prepare meals properly, good, healthier food options, right? And the last one being music. And music has been a massive focus for Kingstones music because it's something that really that we all have in common.
Yeah.
You know, we all love music. So, yeah, and being able to create music so we write collectively together.
Right. Yeah.
Right. We talk about subjects and stuff. Like I just strum, you know, like just 3-chord progressions, you know. Then I get them to close their eyes, you know, and then I say to them, where does this take you? And I walk around the room just strumming this 3-chord progression, you know. I ask them questions like, where does this take you? What does it look like? What does it smell like? You know? And it's really funny because like just when they do that, I look at their faces as I'm walking around the room and they're just, there's some smiling, there are some that are nodding, you know? And as soon as I tell them to open their eyes and tell me what they saw, they can't wait to tell me what they
That's so
saw.
good.
And then I just start writing, come up with a hook, come up with that subject. Okay, let's put this in place, blah, blah, blah. And before you know it, in an hour, we've got a song. Like, that's how easy it is for these guys to explain themselves, explain where they've come from, and they use that as their medium to get their message out to the world.
Yeah, that's so important. That's so good. That sounds like a lot of fun. Yeah, I can imagine how excited they'd be to share that with you and what they saw and what they smelt and all those things. Yeah, because I think songwriting is really important that way, because sometimes we don't think of those little elements, nuances, even that the smell or the sound of things, or the way that, when you look at a tree, what does it make you feel, what colors come up for you, or all those little things. Because that's what I had to do this year as well, and last year. We really focused on songwriting last year, because how I normally have end of year concerts and music concerts. I'm like thinking, okay, if we're going to stream this on Facebook, we need to own our music. So all of the kids actually did, we co-wrote music together, and that's how we got through, streaming online on Facebook, and we had our own virtual concert, and we had people from all around the world join, and it was great.
So good.
So what's your vision for what's going to happen with the Kingstones?
I'll be honest with you. Kingstones music program, like especially with the Kingstones, like we've got the Kingstones that are there at the moment with the participants that we have, or the clients that we have at hand. But because we're a changing, we're looking at recruiting. So we always recruit. They only spend 2 years with us.
Oh, okay.
2 to 3 years max with us. Then they move on to the next thing, right? So the program that we've created already will always be fresh for those young adults that are coming out of high school or special school.
Right. Okay.
So that's sort of the turnover. So we collaborate with a couple of special schools around our local area.
Great.
Where we run programs and together, and we collab on a lot of stuff, and that sort of gives us an insight to who's going to come, who will be good for Kingstones music, because Kingstones music ain't for everyone, disability is massive.
And how did Joan get into this? Was it Joan that who started it first? Was it both of you, or was it Joan?
Okay. Oh, all right. I'll tell you this. I worked for a company called Endeavour. Endeavour Foundation.
Yeah.
So I went into Endeavour. My boss at the time told me to start a music program. He hired me on life experience and morals, right? I walked in, got the job. This is after, I'd been singing for 10 years. This is my first job, my first real job in 10 years, right? Which was only 2 years ago.
Oh, wow. Yeah. In Queensland, yes.
In Queensland.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I went in, got the job, and then it was the tail end of 2018. And there were new students coming in from a school called Logan Special School. And then all these young kids came in. They were 18, like 17, 18. And my boss said to me, Kalvin, you need to create something for these kids. Straight away in my mind, he knew my background, that I was a musician. I love to, fitness. So of course I went to my go-to. I created a music program, and I created a fitness program.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And the music program was that Kingstones music. And that's where we met each other. And then moving from, and I had working under big corporations, you find yourself very, you get your hands tied. Yeah. You don't have the freedom to do whatever you want to do. I know what they want to do. I know what I want to do, but I have this thing in front of me that's not going to let me do it. So it was only I had to pull the Kingstones out right? I started my own little business, Kingstones Music, which were the programs that I developed in Endeavour. And I brought Joan on with me to not only help me, but to take care of all the admin stuff, because I'm just no good at that stuff. I don't like that stuff. And that's how we became, and that's how we started our little disability service. That's how it came about. Yeah.
Well, congratulations. Takes a lot of
Thank you.
takes a lot of guts to do something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it did. It really did. Like, what, you know, without going into it too much, like the whole, we all just went up because we knew there was no way. I think a lot of times we forget about the real purpose of why we do stuff, you know, and there's just this big cloud of these people over you. No, you can't do this. No. It's like, man, I can do whatever. Man, watch me do it, you know? So that's exactly, that's how it came about. And that's why we're just doing what we do. And we love it. We
Great.
absolutely love it.
That's awesome. Well done. And what about Christian, your son? Is he involved with it as well?
Well, Christian comes like in the holidays. You know, he comes and he works part-time with us. He has a really close bond with a lot of the boys in the Kingstones, because I think it's the young boy thing, and they love to game and they love to muck around and do all that kind of stuff. But yeah, no, Christian's very much part of what we do. He was supposed to work in the first week of his holidays, but he didn't get out of there till midday, you know. And I was saying to myself, man, I miss those days, you know, when you could just sleep in and be a kid, you know.
Oh, I know. Christian, my Christian is like that now. Holidays, he's like, he doesn't get up till late, and I'm like, oh, okay, teenage boys, they're all growing.
100%. And he eats like you wouldn't believe. Like, oh my goodness. Does your Christian eat a lot?
He doesn't eat. He has his days when he is really hungry and he wants to eat a lot. But yeah, he's yeah, it's so funny. But okay, so I know that music and singing is part of your Polynesian culture.
Yes.
Tell me, what was one song that changed your life?
I had to think about this, you know, and it would have to be a song called Once I Stood. Okay. It's an old gospel song. And the verses talk about, this man, or it could be a woman being battered down. And in the chorus, the battered down person takes God's hand and God leads him to a better place. Basically, the song just represents hope. Hope, no matter what comes your way and stuff. You'll be able to see it out. You just got to believe.
And is that song one of the songs that changed your life because it's something that you grew up with? It's a song that you grew up with, or is it something that you sing often?
Yeah, like whenever I'm with my parents, or my family, my sisters, all of us, we sing it together. And the last time I think I sang it was probably at my dad's funeral 2.5 years ago. So it was really my dad's song, Yeah. And it was a song that he sung to us, him and my mum sung to us when we were kids growing up. And yeah, that song will always resonate with me for, forever. I mean, there's so many songs, right? But that song in particular really hits home for me because it talks about my family and talks about my dad,
Yeah. Do you have a snippet of it that you can, because I've never heard of it. So do you have a little snippet that you can sing for us?
I haven't warmed up my vocals yet. I think it's too early in the morning for our snippets.
What time is it actually? What time is it there?
It's still early. Is it? I think we're an hour behind you guys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
9:47. Yeah. And to answer your question, no. I'm sorry, I can't do that right now. Can we do that on another podcast?
What is your obsession at the moment? So it could be anything quirky, anything that's a little bit different.
think my obsession at the moment is, I think for this year and looking forward, I think it's trying to better myself, trying to upskill what I currently do already, if
Mm.
that makes sense. You know how you get to a certain level, but you just know that there's something else. Like
Yeah.
being a new year, I've just been looking at like just trying to upskill what I do already. I want to talk to more people like yourself, learn off people like you, learn off just people that I know, just try to get the right mentors and the
Yeah.
different places that will help me be a better husband, be a better father, be a better service provider, you
Mm.
know? So
Yeah.
that's my current obsession at the moment. I think I'm really trying to upskill, trying to help myself, trying to get myself together.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Yeah.
know what you mean. Like, um, for me, there was like time. I'm always I love the self-help stuff, you know. I'm
Yeah.
a, that I mean like I'm obsessed with stuff like that. I listen to lots of podcasts. I listen to like
Yeah.
audiobooks and everything like that.
Yeah.
Is there any one that you'd kind of turn to in terms of motivation that way or self-help?
I love Jim Rohn. You know Jim Rohn?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I love Zig Ziglar. I love
yeah.
the guys in that. Tony Robbins,
Oh yeah.
Tony Robbins is more new school, but I think guys like Jim Rohn, Zig Ziglar, these old school guys. I love the way that they just give it to you. And these recordings were done like
I know.
in, in the
Yeah.
early 80s,
Yeah, yeah.
and it's
Yeah, I
so
mean,
relevant.
so you listen to the stuff that's available on YouTube because
Yes,
yeah, because yeah, that's where I listen to because I mean that was Tony Robbins' go-to, right? Jim Rohn.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, yeah,
So
yeah.
you go to the original.
Oh, OG.
Yeah.
OG. I love the way he talks, even his accent,
Right.
and just the way he gives it to you. It's just like bang, bang, bang.
Yeah.
And he says it himself. If you can't get it right up here,
Yeah.
you got no chance of helping anyone else. You got to help
No.
yourself.
Yeah, exactly. And I
Yeah.
think like over the past few years, like I've kind of dived into more in depth of, like the subconscious thinking and how we mask everything. Um,
Yeah.
that's yeah, there's a lot of work that yeah, that I enjoy learning about in terms of that way. Have you
Yeah.
ever dived into that stuff in that area?
No, I haven't. I haven't really, but it sounds very interesting. I think I better have a look into that.
Yeah.
You know, I
Have a
mean,
look.
yeah. If you can send me a link or something, something to. Was it looking into the
Yeah, well,
subconscious mind and?
yeah, yeah. So it's I started doing some NLP. It's called Neurolinguistic Programming. It's NLP. Just to look thinking about the subconscious mind and how it affects us and how it affects our everyday programming.
Okay.
So yeah, I'll send that to you. You can have a little read about it
Yeah.
or watch
Yes,
something
please.
about it. Yeah, because
Yeah.
Tony Robbins does a little bit of that in his work as well. So
Okay.
yeah, interesting stuff.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
So what's the future looking like for you apart from, wanting to take your personal development to the next level kind of thing? And yeah, is there anything that we can expect from you this year? Anything exciting?
Well, we'll still be releasing original music. Like I think that's sort of a big focus of what we do, and it just brings joy, and it helps. It just shows everyone out there what not only what we're doing, but more importantly, what's possible. You
Mm,
know, and it just attracts a lot of love. Like yes, you do get haters, but
mm,
just people that come on and just want to help you just with small things. We're talking to a charity at the moment that we want to partner up with, where we're going to go in and we're going to talk to them. So every copy that's downloaded, this charity is going to get 50% of of whatever it makes. Just
yeah.
exciting things like that. That sort of I mean, that help endorse the brand for good. You know, it has to be for good. Money is money. You know, everyone knows. Yes, we do need money. Money is not everything. You know, I think if we share, you know, the love, and especially with music, you got to share the music, because if you don't share your music, it's the best kept secret. No one's going to know about it. You know.
Exactly. So how can people follow you?
Okay, so you can go to our website, which is www.kingstonesmusic.com.au, or you can just go on Facebook, and we are Kingstones The Next Chapter. Yep, Kingstones The Next Chapter. Or you can follow us on Instagram, which is Kingstones Music 4118.
4118.
Yeah,
Great.
so hit us up, give us a hello.
Yeah, I'll put it all on the show notes, and people can maybe click on those links and learn more about your work.
Yeah, thank you is you go to our website and
Yeah.
you can download it from our website.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like a lot of people like to, you know, go Apple Music, but I think just downloading it through our website gives us a little bit more control of what's going on out there, and, you know, a bit more transparency.
Okay, great.
Yeah,
great.
Yeah.
So congratulations on all you've created. It's been really lovely talking to you. It's been really nice to catch up and see what you've done and all the good work that you're doing.
Thank you, Tina. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much for reaching out to me. I have much love and respect for what you do, especially in your field. I have a lot of respect for you, and it's so good to connect with you again. We should do it more often. Maybe we should do a song together.
Yes. Let's do that. Oh my God.
Let's do a song together.
Yeah, let's do that. We'll definitely do something.
Yes,
well, so good to chat to you, and you know, you've inspired a lot of people. You've inspired not only myself, but I know a lot of the kids that you're working with. You know, you've really made a difference in their lives in one way or another. So thank you to you for being part of the podcast, and say hi to Joan and also Christian for us.
Yes, please give my love to the boys. Yes. And happy birthday to your parents.
Oh, thank you.
God bless them. God bless them. Looking forward to see when we come to Sydney. I'm coming to see your mum for some punset, yeah?
Oh, yes.
Let's do some punset, please.
Well, there you go, everybody. Hope you enjoyed that interview with Kalvin and the Kingstones. I hope that you got a lot out of that and got some wonderful insights. And I'm sure that we'll hear more of the Kingstones and some more from Kalvin in the near future. And make sure you check out their links and grab their thank you original song as well. So we'll see you next time. Thanks so much for being here, and all the best, and be safe. Bye.